everybody, this is Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries, and I want to talk about forgiveness and forgiven, two very common traits of Yeshua Messiah, but very uncommon traits of people today. One of the things that the scriptures and Yeshua often spoke against was being selfish. What that's about is not being stingy, and people just don't give today. They like to hoard things, and Yeshua said, don't store up your treasures here on earth. You know, if you're giving, you're storing your treasures up in heaven, and we need to be giving people. So we need to give more, but another really big problem is forgiving. And, I really have to forgive our fellow man or when people do something to me, because I know on a daily basis Yeshua forgives me. And it's just amazing that so many people today, so-called believers, won't realize that what Yeshua did for us in forgiving us and continues to forgive us every single day with His grace, and we can hold a grudge against somebody else. I don't know anyone, including myself, who hasn't done something that can have people find out and jump on our case. But that's not what it's about. That's not what Yeshua was about. You know, when He said, forgive and go and sin no more, we got to do our best we can do. But part of that is not just doing our best, it's forgiving others when they haven't reached their best. The scriptures teach us to judge, unlike many people thinking. But it doesn't tell us to judge to tear somebody down. It tells us to judge to lift somebody up. And I think we shouldn't be judging to tear people down. And unfortunately, I think that's what a lot of people do today. They're judging to knock other people down, pretty much kicking them while they're down. But when these other people do good things, I don't see people congratulating them and saying what a great thing they did. But that's the world we live in. And we need to help our brother and sister. But there's no sense and there's no use when somebody's done something wrong to jump on a bandwagon and just ridicule a person. That's not showing the love of Messiah, in my opinion. In my opinion, the love of Messiah is to take that person and say, I understand you didn't do your best with that situation, but I love you as a brother or a sister in Messiah, and let's do better next time, and I'm here to help you. That's what I would want somebody to do to me, instead of just jumping on a bandwagon with everybody else going against me and saying, well, this person did this. I see it over and over again. When somebody's down, you use the metaphor, you kick them when they're down, but I don't see anyone praising people when they're doing great things. I see them just knocking them when they're down. And I think it's not a good example that Yeshua wanted us to live by. So forgiving and forgiveness are two things I think we all need to work on more. And forgiveness is also, or especially asking for forgiveness even more than forgiving somebody else, is a big sign of humility. And when somebody's done something and they haven't reached their best in what they were doing or done their best with a situation, to ask for forgiveness is such a sign of humility. And I think we need to praise people for that. Again, instead of knocking them for what they did, seeing their repentant heart and understanding, we need to ask for forgiveness and have a repentant heart ourselves, because that's what Yeshua Messiah called us to do and set by example. And again, folks, our wonderful Creator forgives us every day, every second, and everything we do. So why can't we forgive our fellow brother? And there's a lot of bitterness also attached to unforgiveness. And I could go and roll through a whole bunch of scriptures about forgiveness and bitterness or unforgiveness. But let's be real, folks. We need to forgive our fellow brother. And we need to set the example of Messiah. And the fact is, that's just not happening today. And that's not a good thing. So, this is Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries. If you have any comments or questions about this, please post this below the video and let us know what you say. And, if anyone out there has done something to somebody else and in any way they've been thinking you've done wrong, tell them, it wasn't your intention to judge them, to knock them down, and apologize to them. Tell them you just want to help them and lift them up. But you got to tell them in a loving way. And we have to understand that. There's one thing, and even Yeshua Messiah said some things to the Pharisees that maybe not to come out with a loving tone, but He did it out of love. He did it out of their concern, because it says in His scriptures in Ezekiel 33:11, I take no pleasure in the death of wicked people. I only want them to change from their wicked ways so they can live, so they can have life. And we need to realize that and remember that. So I take no pleasure in and ridiculing people or judging people and kicking them when they're down. You know, we don't want to make that happen. What we want is we want to judge people to lift them up. We want to show discernment to help our brother and sister. The same thing we want back. Treat others how you want to be treated. And this is how we should all be treated, folks. I see it in relationships as well. In a marriage, somebody will say, well, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve this. Look, folks, Dave Ramsey says it best when he says, people ask him how he feels, he said, better than I deserve. And ain't that the truth? You know, none of us deserve all the blessings we have here in our life and all the great, amazing things. But because our Messiah was so forgiving for us, and our wonderful Creator, let Him shed His blood for us, you know, and He forgives us daily for the things when we can't reach what He wanted us to do. We have to reflect that as well. All right, everybody. Paul Neeson, Torah Life Ministries. Thanks for checking. If you want to see any more videos, go to my website, TorahLifeMinistries.org, or I'll make it easy for you, TorahLife.tv. TorahLife.tv. All right, everybody. Shalom, shalom. Have a great day. I've reached my destination.